Hello everyone, in the episode of Reviews Pro today, we are talking about top 5 best gaming monitors in 2019. And if you want to see the latest price and find out more information about this gaming monitors, you can check out the links down in the description. Also click subscribe at the button to stay up to date with the latest reviews. Okay, so, let's get started with the video. At number 1, it's the ViewSonic XG2402. This monitor is available in two different sizes, 24-inch and 27-inch. Both of them have the same specs, but I prefer the 24-inch version for gaming because I am personally used to smaller monitors when it comes to gaming. The XG2402 managed to become the best gaming monitor out there because of its low price tag and feature-rich spec sheet. This monitor features a 1080p Full HD resolution with 1 millisecond response time. Those two combined with a 144Hz refresh rate make it a great monitor for people that play fast-paced FPS games such as CSGO, Fortnite, and more. Even though it lacks features such as G-Sync, it still offers AMD's FreeSync technology, which will provide smooth frame rates to aid you while you're in the battleground. Another great feature that this monitor has to offer is the 22-level black stabilization, which contains 22 customizable levels of black stabilization controls for enhancing your visibility in even the darkest scenes in your games. This feature will definitely give you an advantage in the game. As for connectivity options, it has two HDMI ports, a display port and a USB hub. This may not sound like a lot to you, but trust me, it's enough to get the most out of your monitor. There are games such as CSGO and Fortnite, which do not require high-end computers to be played smoothly. You can get the best performance on those games with a mid-range computer, but you definitely need a 144Hz monitor to have an advantage over your enemies. This monitor has exactly that, and I think it's the most important feature out of all. It may not be very good for watching movies and it doesn't have fancy things such as blue light protection, G-Sync, etc., but considering the price, it's definitely worth it. That being said, if you're looking for a gaming monitor that can do most of the things that high-end monitors do and pay less, you should definitely go with a ViewSonic XG2402. At number 2, it's the ASUS ROG Swift PG27UQ. The ASUS ROG Swift PG27UQ is the first monitor out there that is capable of bringing you a 4K resolution, G-Sync HDR technology, and a 144Hz refresh rate. That might sound like heaven, but an ultra-premium gaming monitor of that caliber also has an ultra-premium price, and that's one of the main reasons why this monitor isn't listed as the #1 best monitor in this list. To get this monitor running correctly, you also need a very high-end computer that can handle the monitor properly. So if you have a computer that you built with $500, just skip this part because this monitor isn't for you. The design is similar to the older models of the ROG Swift line, with a circular metal stand and a lightning in the bottom, which I think is unnecessary, and probably 90% of the users will keep it turned off. The legs of this monitor look similar to the legs of ultra-wide monitors, and since this is not an ultra-wide monitor, I think the legs are too large for a monitor of this size. As I said earlier, this monitor has a 4K resolution, it supports high dynamic range. It has a 144Hz refresh rate, and if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can take advantage of the G-Sync technology. It offers those features are enough to keep a gamer locked in their room for 15 hours a day. The screen itself is 27 inches and has a Quantum IPS display which supports up to 99% of the Adobe RGB color gamut for realistic colors and smoother quotations. The response time of this monitor is 4 milliseconds, but considering the display is 4K, that's probably the best they could have done for this price. Most tech companies usually try to make monitors that have thin bezels or no bezels at all. This isn't the case with the ROG Swift PG27UQ because the bezels on this thing are huge, which is the thing I don't personally like. However, if you prefer performance over aesthetics, you definitely love it. Honestly, I would say that it's still too early to purchase a monitor of this category, but if you're a gaming enthusiast, have enough money, and want to see what monitor heaven looks like, go for it, because you won't regret it. At number 3, it's the LG 34UC89GB. I personally been a fan of dual monitors, but I recently tried the LG 24UC89G and I understand why people buy ultra-wide monitors if you're a gaming enthusiast but also use the monitor to work on the side. Then I'd say that an ultra-wide monitor would be a great option for you. Even though FPS games such as CSGO aren't as good on ultra-wide monitors, other MMO games run pretty smoothly and you can use the extra space to your advantage. This monitor is a 34-inch ultra-wide curved full HD IPS gaming monitor with a ton of features which can be rarely found on other monitors in this price range. The display chassis is plastic with a nearly black-gray color that's highlighted with red accents on the stand and back of the display. In addition to the included stand, the monitor is compatible with 100mm VESA mounts for hanging on a wall or attaching to an adjustable arm. Games and high-paced movies are noticeably smoother and clearer when compared to games played on monitors with refresh rates of 60 to 75 Hz. Because this monitor has the ability to provide you a 144 Hz refresh rate, the monitor has both HDMI 1.4 and DisplayPort 1.2 inputs. When you buy the monitor, you'll also get a 56-inch DisplayPort cable but not an HDMI cable. So you'll have to purchase that one separately. If you plan to use HDMI to get the most out of your monitor's performance, you should use a DisplayPort cable. As I mentioned earlier, this monitor is also great for people who use the computer for their daily work. I personally use spreadsheets and have a lot of things running at the same time. I use dual monitors for that, but when I use this ultra-wide monitor, I felt like it was easier. There are a lot of third-party applications that can turn your ultra-wide monitor into a very practical work machine. So it's a good thing to keep in mind overall. This monitor was the reason I started to like ultra-wide monitors, because I was always against them. This monitor is basically a buy-it-for-life product, so I would recommend it to everyone who uses the computer for more than 5 hours a day. At number 4, it's the BenQ Zowie XL2540. If you're a gamer, you probably used a BenQ product before. They make high-quality, simple-to-use and cheap peripherals. Their mouse pads and monitors are all very famous because they bring a great value to the table. The XL2540 is one of the few 240 Hz monitors available out there, and considering how much modern monitors cost, this one is cheap in comparison. Keep in mind that you're going to need a decently equipped PC capable for that level of performance in the first place, even if it's just 1080p. If you already have a 144 Hz monitor, I wouldn't recommend upgrading to a 240 Hz because the change isn't as noticeable as the jump to 144 Hz from 60 Hz. If you play FPS games every day, then you'll surely notice the difference, but not if you rarely play any. This monitor has a 24.5-inch TN panel with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and an aspect ratio of 16:9. There's plenty to appreciate about the BenQ Zowie XL2540 inches terms of design. It's dressed in matte black with small touches of red. The finish serves to keep your attention fully on the game at hand. I'm a fan of gaming peripherals that look simple, and I hate unnecessary RGB lights. This monitor has neither of those useless fancy things, but it has a very powerful engine under the hood, which is what we all want, right? I like to change the monitor settings depending on the game I play, so a very useful thing I found on this monitor is the S switch, which allows you to easily access settings and navigate the on-screen menu without having to use the buttons on the screen, which is annoying on other monitors. The only thing I don't like about this monitor is that it doesn't perform well while watching movies. This monitor is indeed a beast when it comes to gaming, but when it comes to watching videos and it fails to provide the quality that other monitors do. This doesn't mean that everything becomes unwatchable, far from it. I just think that there are monitors which can do both at a better price. Overall, if you're strictly a gamer, don't think twice. Grab this monitor and include it in your gaming arsenal because you definitely love it. And finally, at number 5, it's the Dell Alienware AW3418DW. It has the beauty, the design, the power, and everything else you could wish for in a monitor. It has a 34-inch curved display with a 21:9 ratio with a 4 millisecond response time and overclockable 120 Hz refresh rate and sync capabilities. It checks all the boxes for serious gamers. I mentioned earlier that the difference from 120 Hz to 240 Hz isn't that noticeable, so having a 120 Hz refresh rate, it's good enough. Most ultra-wide monitors provide only 2560 by 1080 resolution. This isn't the case with this monitor because it has the power to bring you a 3440 by 1440 resolution, which is very rare on monitors in this price range. The design is what I fell in love with. I know I said earlier that I don't like fancy looking monitors with lights and everything, but this monitor managed to do it in a way that doesn't scream gamer and still look good at the same time. It has a futuristic sense, especially when you look at it from the back. This monitor features the G-Sync technology, which eliminates screen tearing and minimizes display stutter and input lag to deliver the smoothest, fastest, most breathtaking gaming, which would definitely give you a competitive edge over your enemies if you haven't experienced G-Sync before. The level of smoothness is difficult to describe and you'll have to try it out yourself to see what it's like. The hinge supports tilt, swivel and height adjustability, so wherever you feel most comfortable, you'll still have the best possible vantage point. I personally love this monitor because it's suitable for everything. You can watch movie, play games, edit videos, work on spreadsheets, and do everything else on it without getting the feeling that if you had something better your job would be easier overall. If you're looking to buy a monitor that can do it all and will make your battle station look much better, then definitely go with the Dell A3418DW because you won't regret it. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the next episode. And if you have any questions related to this gaming monitors, you can leave a comment down below. I will hit you up as soon as I can.